There's two ways of thinking in the world. There's people who are smart and they have Chochma, and then there's people who have Bina. Bina is like creative, is understanding, like twist, something with a twist, not just black and white thinking. Okay? And here's the thing. In the world of Chochma, sometimes they're 100, sometimes they're not too bright, they're 60, they're 40, but they don't have Bina. Bina has Chochma, and on top of that has a deeper understanding. And I'm finding that there's two ways of thinking in the world, and here's the problem. The Chochma person says you got to fight fire with fire. The Bina person says, hang on, that just makes more fire. You got to fight fire with water. The Chochma person says, the kid is doing something bad, cut him off, don't give him money. 2 + 2 is 4, right? Someone's doing the wrong thing, stop him. What if it doesn't work? They're out of ideas. The Bina person says, hey, that's not going to work. That's going to make the problem worse. Work with the kid, and in the long run, he's going to turn around. The Chochma person says, you got to stop. You got to give your kids rules and boundaries and consequences because they're bad by nature, and if you're going to let them go, they're going to keep going. You give them a finger, they're going to take a hand. The Bina person says, you're going to create a monster who's going to break away from you as soon as he can. It's not smart. Give in to the kid. Work with the kid. The Chochma person says, if they don't behave in your house, lock them out of the house. Problem solved. They're not following the rules, lock them out. The Bina person says, hang on, what's the long-term goal? What happens to those kids that get locked out? Did you really solve the problem? And the list goes on and on about problems. The Chochma people, they have a big problem trying to actually be problem solvers. They don't find any solution that they can't figure out a problem with. They'll find a problem for every solution. And the Bina people are problem solvers. But here's the problem that I think is really a revelation. The Chochma people think the Bina people are so stupid. Isn't that incredible? If they would say, wow, this guy's so much smarter than me, fine. But they don't. They think, you're crazy. You're making the problem worse. They think the Bina people are stupid. This is my revelation. And here's even a bigger chiddush. The Chochma person has a problem, bangs his head against the wall 400 times, problem gets worse and worse and worse. Goes for advice to the Bina person. They won't listen. Doesn't make any sense. But your way doesn't work. Doesn't make any sense because 2 + 2 is 4. It's not 6 - 2. Now hang on. Now listen to this. Let's say there's a company or there's a situation where we don't need the Chochma guy's permission. The Chochma guy has the problem, can't find a solution. Bina comes and solves it, and the Chochma guy watches what happens. What's the Chochma guy's reaction?
It was a fluke.
Makes no sense. They don't learn anything. They can watch the Bina guy 1,000 times, and instead of getting Bina or realizing there are psychology and the way the world works, no, they will always do the same thing, and they'll say it was a fluke, or this guy's crazy, or I don't know. Well, it would have happened anyway. All these things, but they will not learn the methodology of a Bina person. Or maybe it's the type A personality is the Chochma person, but they can't learn it. And when they see it in action, they just get frustrated. I don't know.
It's the type L person.
Okay. Logic. So the Bina person has logic also. Bina is after Chochma. There's Chochma and then there's Bina. The Bina person has Chochma, knows when to use Chochma, and then has an additional layer of Bina, which is deeper. Women have Bina Yisera, an extra level of Bina. But this is what my eyes opened up was that you can never impress Chochma brain with even the most magical Bina. You get nowhere. It's a total waste of time. Tunnel vision. They can't get past it, and that was my thing. What do you think? Interesting? It's true, right? I sat with a family here, and I sat with the grandfather for an hour and 45 minutes, and at the end of an hour and 45 minutes of me speaking about twisted parenting, the question was, So should I tell my grandson, let's go for Maariv?
Was waiting.
To his credit, somehow, miraculously, he made a U-turn and flipped around. But like an hour and 45 minutes of explaining, right? 2 + 2 is 4. It's never going to be anything else. I don't care what you tell me. Psychology, and you can attract more bees with honey, and you can lose to win. All of that stuff doesn't work. But the chiddush was that the Chochma people think that Bina people are stupid. Okay, I feel better. I've seen very, very intelligent people, extremely intelligent people, literally they can't. There's a line, and they have to wait on line, and they can't, and the Bina guy makes it happen. You know, the creativity, and the Chochma people are stuck, very limited, in with very few tools. And when things don't work out, they get very angry. And you could be brilliant. You could be off the charts brilliant. They can know unbelievable amounts of information. They get incredibly frustrated in the world because they're always doing everything the way it's supposed to be done and getting the short end of the stick. Because they don't know the creative Bina.